When we hear AI, we think ChatGPT.
Right.
This is the problem. Too many people are ignorant of what's happening in AI. You either adjust and reorient and grow, or better systems will overtake you.
Is it going to make us more richer?
The answer is hell yes.
What can people do to make more money using AI?
I can sit here and give you 1,001 different things you could do to make money in AI. The first thing is communication is the bedrock of all societies. It comes in all forms: non-verbal, verbal, written, and we have visual communication. Even silence is a form of communication.
Okay. Does public speaking in Ghana make money?
Maybe I'll show you one receipt. I want you to see how much I'm being paid for this. Here, there you have it. That's in USD.
You're welcome to Connected Minds podcast. My name is Derek Abaite. Today's conversation is something I'm very excited about because we're going to go through the intersection between AI, communication, and public speaking. Are people really making money with AI? And can you also replicate yourself enough to do things a bit more effectively while you still make money? We want to understand these aspects of life and what is really happening with the whole surge of AI coming into the system. The person I'm having a conversation with has been in the studio before. He's been on Connected Minds podcast. We've actually become brothers after the last time we spoke, which was 11 months ago. And he's in a studio. Doctor now. At the time I spoke with him, he was just Features Kwame. But today he's a doctor. Thank you so much. You're welcome, to Connected Minds.
Thank you for having me again, and congratulations. I've seen it, and it's mind-boggling. Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you, brother.
Well done.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's a surge of podcasts happening in the country, right?
We sort of spoke about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's everywhere now. And I think for you, it should be a compliment.
Yeah.
It should be a compliment when you become a defining standard of an entire industry. That should give you something to.
Well, that's very similar to when you started public speaking in the country.
Absolutely.
And now we've seen a lot of people who are using your models.
Absolutely.
To also get into public speaking.
Yes.
But the interesting thing about this though, you have also taken the time to now train a lot more people to become public speakers.
Yes. So
you are replicating yourself?
Yes, I'm replicating myself. We've launched what we call the Features Kwame Public Speaking Academy. The idea is, at the bedrock of society, period, is both effective communication and public speaking. And that's what we're going to talk about. Right. But now what we're doing is, my target over the next 5 years is to raise 1,000 of me, efficient public speakers, who are using it either in systems of employment to make themselves more valuable and earn more, or taking it as a new revenue module for actually making money, where through proper public speaking, they can create careers out of.
Kwame, what's the aspect of human beings that AI cannot replicate?
Over the course of the next several years, what we would find out is that human-specific, emotionally charged systems of communication and public speaking will never be replaced by AI. And I repeat it. Human-specific, emotionally charged systems of public speaking and communication would not be replaced by any form of AI.
Why are you so sure?
It's because eventually that will be the only thing human we have left. And as this conversation progresses and we dive into some of the stuff, you realize that there's very little that AI would not be able to do. The idea of artificial intelligence, now that we've gone there, is that it is mimicking human intelligence. And what it seeks to do is that if there is any kind of intelligence frameworks that we use that has system and order, and it has function, press, if this, then that, then AI can do it better. It's as simple as that. So if you brought an AI into your studio and it looked at the work that the guys were doing and it's repetitive, there is function and order to it. We set the camera, we press it, it records, it goes into a main system. If it can have those protocols, It will do it better.
Okay, well, that's nice. A big part of my audience,
Right.
they just want to be able to make money.
Yes.
Right? They're either entrepreneurs
Yes.
who are trying to find systems to make their lives easier,
Right.
make a lot more money.
Right.
Or they're young people who don't know exactly what to do.
Right.
And they're looking for means to make money.
Right.
So now take me through the systems and the processes and the apps and what can people do to make more money using AI?
So I can sit here and give you 1,001 different things you could do to make money in AI. However, first I need to be very, and even though we have a global audience, I need to really think about our local audience. I need to think about the average Ghanaian. The first thing is we cannot speak in a vacuum. We still have infrastructural challenges. There are people who might see this on their phone somewhere in maybe Sefiu Bekwai, where the internet is now very strong. So first, just to chip in to say, I'm not overlooking anybody, because oftentimes what happens is we go to these places and we speak to Accra.
Yep.
And we forget that Ghana is not Accra.
Yep.
We might speak to somebody in the UK and they're fine. Internet is a basic right. That's not the case for somebody who might be in some down parts of Nairobi, right? And we have a broader audience. So I want to say in places where you have the challenge of infrastructure, you will catch up. It's okay. It's fine. But for those of us who have it, I can give you different modules. Right now, everybody's talking about the same thing. And for me, as somebody who has done this for a very long time, I sit back and I say they're making the same mistake again. If you think about prompt engineering, when AI came out, ChatGPT 2.5, I remember about 2 years ago, if my memory serves me right, I started doing videos about all of the things that you can do with ChatGPT, how to use ChatGPT to write a book, how to use ChatGPT to start a business, how to use ChatGPT to get content ideas. This was about 2 years ago. I remember saying in one of my videos, one of the things that's going to make you absolutely stand out is prompt engineering. Become a prompt engineer. It is the skill of the future. Guess what?
What is it?
AIs prompt themselves better because they speak their own language. So I was wrong. Or better still, I was short-sighted as a futurist. And it's hard for me to admit it, but I'm not here to lie. So what I'm going to say is, if I tell you, do AI as SaaS, software as a service, go sit down, get a coding repository, let ChatGPT give you the code, take it to Regulate or take it to Bolt and build an app from there, everybody's talking about it. Oh, okay, no. Get some avatar, use systems like Midjourney and Clink 2.5, and then do videos.
Well, because you know what is happening. What is happening these days is that information is coming out so quickly. Technology is moving so fast.
Yes, sir.
That by the time you think about doing what somebody has said,
thank you.
Time is already gone.
So much. Do you want to make AI take advantage of knowledge asymmetry?
Okay.
What is knowledge asymmetry? Too many people are ignorant of what's happening in AI. Become a custodian of the knowledge that is coming. Be the guy everybody goes to when they want information about AI in a Greek. Be the guy everybody goes to when they are thinking about AI in properties. Become a knowledge merchant. That might be the lowest hanging fruit that nobody is thinking about. And the reason why I would actually push that to you is because it has that element of communication and public speaking that we eventually speak about that can allow you to keep readapting and reinventing yourself. So if you master Clink 2.5, somebody is building a better model than Clink 2.5. By the time that model comes, everything you know in Clink 2.5 is done. However, if you're the guy who is the go-to guy for having knowledge on AI systems, all you're doing is being plugged in, getting the tools that are coming, testing them on the go, documenting that process and bringing to the market and say, here is it.
But how about using the existing AI systems?
Right.
To make money.
That's what I'm saying, that those things are becoming obsolete too quick.
Right.
So if I tell you right now, go and master Google Nano Banana. The Chinese released one a week ago that beats Google's performance over 10x. So you're a big Google Nano Banana guy. You're able to do imaging. You can use imaging to create graphics and put out designs. That module, there's a better module a week later. How fast can you jump? However, if you sit in the knowledge economy where you go, hey guys, So Nano Banana is becoming obsolete because of this new Chinese one, and this is what it can do better for your business, do better for your content creation, do better for your research, do better for this. Well, sign up for that course or sign up for that class where I teach you everything you need to know. Oh, that one is gone. Oh, hey guys, new week, new systems. I am here to make sure you're always plugged in. You need AI in Agric, I'm here. AI in property, I'm here. AI in customer relations management, I'm here. Otherwise, you will not be able to keep up with the tools.
Yeah, but if the systems are moving so fast,
yes,
then as business people,
yes,
what do we actually accept and use?
Sir, we define use by productivity and output. If it works, makes your systems efficient, makes it cheaper, makes it faster, makes it better. We've had this conversation before. Yep. That's what you go for. It's as simple as that. Prior to this conversation, I'll show you a couple of images. I'm sure you slapped them on the screen somewhere. 8 years ago, I was telling photographers, we need to pay attention to this. A lot of them, their amygdala kicked in. That's what always happens. Whenever there's new technology, we freak off. Our amygdala goes alarm. It's fight or flight. Everybody's going, no! This is what happened with Uber when they came in. The taxi drivers, they wanted to fight them. I said to them, guys, AI, and I said this in our last conversation, is not the enemy.
Okay.
AI is a tool. And I was saying to you, when you look at the images on your screen, the very simple thing you need to understand, sir, is that there's not a single natural copy of your image in existence in the world.
What do you mean?
The only natural image of you is the one I am looking at right now. That is the purest form of you. Every other image that exists of you is either computer manipulated. We use the camera to capture the image, put it into a computer system, touched it here and there, and gave it to us as a reproduction of you. It's artificial. It was never natural. So why are you frowning on a better and more efficient system that's able to do what you're seeing? Is it less a picture of me because it was done by a better, more efficient system? No, that's me. Nobody can tell the difference. I have these images on a flyer that is out there, and you can't even tell the difference.
So how do we become more accepting of this whole AI systems?
Accept disruption or get out of the game. It's as simple as that. I gave this example the other day when we're having our conversation. When Ghana came out and said, hey guys, you know the TV at Tikopo?
Yep.
Very soon, we're not going to be using it anymore. Throw it out. And somebody was sitting there, you can't tell me it's my house, me, I know my right. Okay, no problem. What will happen is transmission systems will not connect to your TV. So you have an empty TV box. You can walk up to them and say, to hell with them, I'm not going to drive cars anymore. Give me a horse. Yes, sir. Where will you park your horse? When you come to my business. So what's going to happen is when you fight the tools that becomes the standard order of the day, you will get out of business. This is how disruption always happens. You either adjust and reorient and grow, or better systems will overtake you. Study all systems of disruption in every single industry.
So essentially, if I was still using Nokia 3310,
yes, sir,
I wouldn't be able to go on WhatsApp.
It's very simple. Send me an email, let me see, sir. So are you going to go up and grab an iPhone or an Android or a Samsung? Or you're going to say, nah, this has always worked. It works. Don't I get calls? No problem. Until you need to get on a call with an investor in the UK and he needs to see you on video.
So that actually marries with my concept of moving out from circle to circle.
Yes, sir.
And evolving
as
a being.
Yes, sir.
Accepting change.
Yes.
Very interesting. Right. Because if that's what the world is forcing us to accept, it can cut across every aspect of our lives.
Every single aspect of our lives. I said about 4 years ago, the new luxury would be offline.
Okay.
Until about a year ago, places started popping up in Europe where people go to pay so that their phones are taken from them, their gadgets are taken from them, and they are reintegrated into nature. Spoke about it 4 or 5 years ago. Wow. Our world is becoming so digitally charged. We're so interconnected with digital systems that soon and very soon, people would pay to become natural again. and it's happening. Go to libraries where no phones are accepted. Go for retreat centers and they get integration. They go back. They want their feet to touch the ground. They want to be far. People are paying for that. That's the new luxury. All of a sudden, there's a global conversation about going back to sustenance farming for families. Let's get our own land. Let's grow our own food. Let's raise our kids in that world because it's crazy out there with what tech is doing. It cuts across every facet.
Have we created a problem?
Humans, by our very nature, are ever evolving, like you said. Have we created a problem? Yes and no. Yes, if the cons outweigh the pros. No, if the pros outweigh the cons. Now, you and I can think through this very, very well. The way you and I are freaking out about AI, that's the same way our forefathers freaked out about radio. In fact, that's the same way they freaked out about the elevator. Do you know there used to be an elevator operator? It was a job. Somebody highly trained, highly qualified, used to do the work in suits. I have a picture of this, of operating the elevator. Same thing when they freaked out about radio. Think about the magic of the fact that a human body can be boxed in a screen. They screamed about TV the same way. I am young enough to remember the day that I had a sermon in a Church of Pentecost church where the man of God said, Facebook is Antichrist. It's the Antichrist. Every generation has freaked out on the defining technology of their time until it's nothing. So have we created a problem? Yes or no? This is how it's always been. We feel like it's different. It's not. This is how it has always been. So at the end of the day, the measure of the conversation should be how much good is it doing for us versus how much bad or evil is it doing for us. Then we can make a judgment.
For the younger generation, the question actually is it going to make us more richer?
For me, the answer is hell yes.
Okay.
Sir, you do understand that this was not possible 10 years ago. Like you couldn't build an audience without the middlemen of radio and TV and go directly from producer to audience. That was impossible. There was always a middle structure.
Yeah.
You either needed to take this show to a TV station, bring in a third-party sponsor who was willing to pay for your airtime on the TV station, and hopefully, if the show was good enough and you had multiple sponsors, then you could make some money out of it.
Yeah.
That is disrupted. Now, when I have AI systems that can act like my research assistant, that helps me research the people I'm about to interview, gives me relevant questions, watch all their videos in 1 minute. For you to interview me here, there's an AI agent that could have done all of that work to you. I've watched every video of him, listened to every interview, read every single post that he's ever made on social media since 2011 or whenever he came online. Here's everything I found. Here are the things that are a bit controversial. Here are the scandals he's been involved in. Here is how you talk to a person like this. We don't see how that comes in when we're done. And the AI can help us in editing. Even after our humans, and we're not here, we can talk about the unemployment and all of that. That's another conversation.
Okay. So a time ago, we were speaking and we said that every company
Yes.
needs to have a social media team.
Yes.
Are we saying that every company needs to have an AI team now?
Every company needs to have an inside house R&D department plugged in to AI. Research and development on the pulse of the matter. Working eyes open to eyes closed. I'm exaggerating. But having their fingers on the pulse in AI. Every single company. I'm talking churches. I'm talking property companies. I'm talking real estate. I'm talking agriculture. I'm talking government. I'm talking government. I'm talking government. We have systems that are built for a physical world. We can't even deal with cyberbullying. Here's a question. If a self-driving Tesla car gets in an accident, who's to be blamed? The guy in the passenger seat? The software running Tesla? Or Tesla itself?
Wow. I never thought about that.
Yes, sir. Our constitutions
Yep.
globally were built for a physical world where everything is tangible. We're going into crazy areas. So yes, every single moving part of society, parenting, needs to think about AI. Do you know what kids are doing with it now? Okay. Kids are committing suicide over conversations with ChatGPT. Kids are asking, how do I bomb my classroom? Over conversations with AI. Every single moving part of our society needs to think about it. I have a young man in the church that by God's grace I pastor. I didn't even pay attention. One of the services, I realized there was a laptop plugged in. He had cables, connected. I was like, what's going on? Because I know that all of the systems run from the main booth at the back. I do then pay attention for about 30 seconds, and I realize on the spot, as I'm speaking, there's an AI system transcribing me live. So by the time I'm done teaching, the entire teaching is transcribed. And he can give me a summary with highlights, punchlines, everything ready to go. Every company, you need a research and you need your AI people.
Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. I have a certain type of audience.
Yes.
And higher age bracket.
Yes.
They have businesses across
Yes.
Africa. And now, one of them is thinking to themselves,
right.
All these things you are saying is fantastic, but I have no clue what you're saying.
Yes.
Where do I start from?
Where you start from is research. This is the reason why I said knowledge asymmetry is the gold mine right now.
Okay.
Because what it means is that person can call me and say, hey, futurist, here's my business. Can you do a diagnosis of my business and my industry? Look at all of the AI tools. Look at all of the development happening on the fringes of my industry. Come into my business and set up a system that can make our things efficient. Also very important, if you can help my business to look at adjacent developments that can potentially disrupt our current business system. So if you're not going to hire me, this is what you can do. Get a research and development department. Let them start researching every moving part of AI systems that apply to your industry. It is with that data that you can now make decisions on what to plug in and what not to plug in. The problem is when we hear AI, we think ChatGPT.
Right.
This is the problem. You are so far removed from the conversation. And I'm not blaming you. I'm not sitting here and, showing shrug shoulders. I'm saying you need to stop paying attention to the data. Stop paying attention to the trends. And regardless and irrespective of what you say about your business, eventually you would have to have some kind of a connection with AI. Start researching.
So wait, if as a company,
yes,
if you don't disrupt yourself,
yes,
somebody else is going to.
It's very simple. Cannibalize yourself, cannibalize your core, take the very heart of the business and move it into a more efficient system. Like I said to you, sir, I don't remember the last time I thought about it, and now that I think about it, wow. I don't remember the last time I thought about a TV poll. Now you will be BFN in Pampro. There's something. That's what we used to use.
Bamboo. Bamboo.
Bamboo.
My first idea
of
being able to see anything on a TV screen.
Yes.
I had to have.
You need to have a bamboo. And the higher it went,
the
better. Thank you, sir. And then somebody started making business out of antennas. Now, I have a subscription model. Cannibalize your core. Take the heart of the business. Because when people want it, they will not say, because we love you, because you've been here for a very long time, we're just going to roll with you. That's not going to be the case.
So where are we really heading towards? Because now to think about it, from having this, tall bamboo tree, bamboo stick or whatever, to having a subscription-based service, to now even forget the subscription, right? You don't need a box.
Nope.
You don't need a box anymore.
No, sir.
It's a simple app.
Yep.
Where are we heading towards?
We're heading towards, as far as computer makes it cheaper, better, more efficient, we will move. It's as simple as that.
Like we're creating solutions and creating problems
at the same time. And that's the beauty of it. Because for every problem we create, that's a new opportunity for economic value. That's the conversation that people
Is
who
Africa
are
left behind?
Oh my God. Yes and no.
Okay.
Sir, maybe a bad example. And I beg to differ. I'm a learner. And when you watch this and you have better ideas, I'll read it in the comments, so forgive me. There are more than 3 businesses that have caused the $1 trillion evaluation. How did they do it? There's Nvidia, there's Apple, I think there's a third company that I don't remember. They've crossed the $1 trillion. Facebook, they've crossed the $1 trillion evaluation in our lifetime. A business is worth $1 trillion. The richest man currently in the world is building around these systems. Now, my question then is, where are these conversations happening? Everywhere in the developed world, I've seen nothing less than twice a year an AI governance forum. When I started pitching to our Ministry of Digital Information and blah, 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 I don't remember the full details, about a product that I had developed about 6 years ago on something called digital kidnapping, how to protect our kids online. It was a language our people were not ready to have. I just saw about a month or 2 ago, my very good brother, Ayugwe Edem, who is, what's the name? He is the head. He is, there's a word for them. It's not coming. But he's sort of like the face of now cyberbullying. And I'm like, guys, I love it. Well done. We're about 6 years late. When the kids started playing Fortnite 6 years ago, that's when we should have started paying attention to this. So, are we left behind? I feel like we're not taking this serious enough. And part of the reason why that is happening is because we still have analog problems.
Okay. You see, Kwame.
Here's what I mean.
Go on.
If my street is flooded, I am definitely not going to think about a humanoid robot and how it might take my job as a waitress in a restaurant. I can't get home. My streets are flooded. That's what I mean by, because we have real analog problems, we're not paying attention enough. And if we ever have enough goodwill, national goodwill, to solve our analog problems, we will have to leapfrog into these things.
Okay. So, just this is just by the way.
Yes.
Right. My AI and content team.
Yes, sir.
The average age.
Yes.
Is 21.
Okay.
Right, 21.
You're dealing with
and I'm talking about the people that constantly researching, creating content for my brand, Derek Abaite, and Konnected Minds. There's about 4 guys. The average age
is 21.
Is 20.
Yes.
21.
Yes. You're dealing with the right crowd.
That tells you that people slightly above our age will struggle.
Absolutely. They are struggling. First, they're struggling as parents. They don't know what to do with it. Then they will struggle as captains of industries and CEOs of businesses. There would be a disconnect. And like I'm saying to you, I'm not predicting anything based on a vacuum. I'm predicting based on what has always been.
There's data.
There's data. It allows us to be predictable. In 2020, if when COVID hit, was when you decided to pivot your business online, you were late.
Too late.
And businesses didn't survive, sir. Let's not act like we're just boys.
Businesses, churches.
They didn't make it.
Yeah.
Let's not act like we're just young people who are feeling good and vibely about our new shiny toys. These are not toys. This is redefining life as we know it.
While we're speaking about the topic of whether Africans have been left behind, I saw something very interesting.
Yes.
In the US, that's, for me, I thought, as a business person, and as somebody who does this for a living,
yes,
Trump did very well.
Very.
He put all the tech, basically the tech giants together
Inside.
in a meeting.
So let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
Yes, sir.
Right? Why can't these sort of conversations happen in certain parts of Africa, or as a matter of fact, the entire Africa?
That's what I'm saying.
So
where is our AI governance forum? Where's our Ministry of the Future?
Yep.
Where we're paying attention to developing tech as it affects national planning, management of crisis. Like, to think about the fact, and I speak tongue-in-cheek, again, I'm not trying to be controversial, I'm just passionate about these things. To think about the fact that we cannot plug AI systems into disaster management. Like, if there was a flood, bro, and again, I speak about these things because these are solutions I've offered to previous governments and they didn't get response. Now, if there was a flood and you put drones with LiDAR technology, LiDAR technology, by the way, is about 7 or 8 years old. LiDAR technology is a tech in cars that allows them to be able to pick their environment, model their environment, and be able to say, that's a human coming, that's an animal coming. If you put LiDAR technology in a drone, fly it over a flood system, do you think we will need to wait for the water to dry to find whoever was swept away by the flood? No, sir. What does it cost to have a drone with LiDAR tech?
But something that's Africa.
Yes.
The west part of Africa is doing very well.
Yes.
It's our mobile money payments. Ghana is currently leading when it comes to regulation.
And that should have been the unicorn. Guys, it freaking works. It helps our people. It's efficient.
Yeah.
It's time saving. My mom, again, 70 plus, she receives money. She sends it. I don't need to send my mom walking to the bank. I don't need to let her be worried about, taking cash and hoping that some motor guys don't come. It works. So if mobile money is this successful, the question is, how many other digital realities can we plug to make the life of our people better? That should be the thinking.
So now we've spoken about AI.
Yes.
And its benefits.
Yes.
For the business people.
Yes.
And you did really speak about the fact that you think communication is the aspect of humans that AI cannot touch, exactly replicate.
Right.
So now let's talk about how to become a better communicator.
Right.
An effective communicator.
Right.
As in, that's what you do for people.
So, communication is the bedrock of all societies. Communication is the process of transferring information, ideas, concepts, emotions, meaning between two or more people.
Yeah.
It comes in all forms. We have at least 4 forms of communication. We have non-verbal communication. We have verbal communication. We have written communication. And we have visual communication. The aim of communication is meaning, connection, and bond. That is the aim. It's so much a part of us that even silence is a form of communication.
Okay.
In fact, over 80% of all communication is nonverbal. Here's the reason why you look at somebody and say, why are you looking at me like that? It's because the look speaks. You look a bit gloomy. What do you mean? So, nonverbal communication forms over 80%. That's why you can meet somebody who can be speaking words and you say your body language is giving you up. You called it body language. The body has a language. At the crust of all of society is communication. Your first public speech that you ever gave was your first cry as a baby. If you don't master that act of communication as a child before you are ever able to utter words, you'll be in trouble. And you find out that parents are so good at decoding this language. In the cries, they can tell when the baby is hungry. They can tell when the baby wants to potty. They can hear. That was your first one. When you spoke to your first crush in primary school, that was communication. A public teacher will give about 180 different public lectures in a year. A pastor might do double of that. If you add counseling, he's doing about 400 or 500 different forms. So in communication, we're looking at something that is essentially human. It can be a little sexy when you see a humanoid, which is what the robots have become now. You can't even tell the difference, by the way. They look really human, so we call them humanoids. Now, if you look at, it can be sexy to see a humanoid stand in front of you and dazzle you a bit or two, but when you want to talk to someone about how you're feeling, that's why communication is the transfer of not only information, meaning, emotions. That is something AI would never be able to do. So that's one aspect.
I want to watch this conversation, right?
Yes.
In 30 years, and
Yes,
be
sir.
like, oh my God, Futurist Kwame was right.
Yes, sir.
But there's also a part of me that thinks, everything you're saying. How would I feel
Right.
if after 20 years,
Yes.
that's even more, right?
Yes.
After 10 years,
Yes.
people are having conversations with AI.
They're already having conversations with AI.
And
it will not stick. It will not be the same way. Here's a question for you. Will you ever go to a Robocop Malam?
No.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess the question I also got for you is that,
Right.
will you visit
Yes.
a robot doctor?
I will go to a robot doctor. What I'm taking from the robot doctor is not essentially emotion.
Right.
There are certain, diagnosis that in order for me to recover, I will need human-to-human connection.
Right. Right.
If I'm going to a robot doctor that is looking for my vein and giving me a painless injection, that's not a problem. But even that, what will happen is the doctor, you've seen those videos of the doctors with the kids who know how to play with them, and
Yep.
and then the kid is still didn't even realize a robot cannot do that.
So now we need to learn how to communicate better. And then build personal brands.
Way
Take me through
better.
the process.
So, like I said, we've defined communication.
Yep.
Public speaking is a form of communication. So if you look at communication as the universe, public speaking is a solar system in the universe. In public speaking, you're given a structured presentation to an audience with the aim of informing, persuading, or inspiring. That's what you're doing. Now, in public speaking, if you do not have effective communication, you have noise amplification. You're basically amplifying noise. So, again, effective communication becomes the bedrock. You need to study that, and I'll go there very soon. But how do I build a brand of that? The beauty of public speaking is that immediately two people come into the room, you're doing a public speech.
Okay.
Immediately two people. So if a third person came into this room now, everything we're saying now is public speaking. In fact, immediately the first two views hit this video. Everything we've done here is public speaking. Because even though I'm talking to you and I'm communicating with you, the structure of this conversation is so that the public can consume it. And if what you're doing makes money, that's a way. So I taught this the last time, I'll teach it again. Use your experiences, your skill, your gifts. Use it to solve problems. When you're solving the problems, document the solving of those problems. Building of brands. This is what people are and they are same way about. The problem today is people confuse branding with empty packaging. Settings is not branding. Can I say it without fear? Settings is defrauding. Settings is packaging something for it to look better or exaggerated than the real substance it is. Branding is amplifying the substance so that you can see the value, because humans by our very nature have distorted systems of perception. That's the reason why you and I will drive our cars together and walk and drive by a little bush that has a rose flower in there, and it doesn't have any effect. But when wifey gives it to you, it's It's because it's not about the product. It's about how it makes you feel. So because we have broken perceptive systems, we use branding to draw your attention, to say to you, look at this, there's value here. It's not amplifying nothing. And that's what we see a lot. A lot of people are packaging, fake it till you make it. We'll have another conversation about that. There are places where you will not be able to fake it. People can tell BS. Can anybody BS you? No, sir. One thing I've loved about my relationship with you, you look at people and you diagnose them. So people can tell. So branding is, here are real skills, experiences, and giftings that I have. Here are real solutions that have come from these things. Here are the ways it can help you if you're going through these problems. I am the guy to talk to.
Right.
Simple. Branding 101. So when you're putting yourself in front of a potential audience, what you're saying is, I've been there, done that. Here is proof. Here is results. Come for the same. Here's the reason why whenever people are attracted to you for your brand and they do not get the results you presented, you're a fraud.
Even with businesses, this has happened several times. Recently, right? So my wife just showed me, oh, Derek, there's a new restaurant in town.
Yes.
Let's try and visit the restaurant. And then I looked at it and I said, I've seen this restaurant. It doesn't look the way it looks on the phone.
That's packaging.
I'm sorry, but if you went there today, you wouldn't be happy with it.
It's called advertisement under false pretense. It's fraud.
Look, there was a place we went in somewhere in Volta region with the family.
Right.
And, we paid $100 for it. Right. Very expensive place at night. It's probably one of the most disappointing trips we've ever done.
Yes, sir. And we do that a lot. And call it branding. We call it packaging. We call it fake it till you make it. No, sir. Substance first, then amplification. Because if you drug the people in, what are you going to give them? So that's how you go about it. So if you're looking at building a brand around public speaking, it means that the first thing you need to ask yourself, if I want to be a public speaker, the first question is, what do I want to speak about? When you answer that question.
Right. And that could be the AI systems. About. My God. Yep. That just connected.
Yes, sir. Because knowledge is merchandisable. I'm creating a word. Knowledge is a commodity. And in a day and age of ubiquitous access to knowledge, people will kill and pay for structured data.
And that AI cannot kill.
No, sir. Because AI is going to make sure there is an overwhelming influx of too much information. So the guy that synthesizes it, takes it together and brings it to you in a way that's very easy for you to consume.
But interestingly, right? So I was at the airport again with my wife, and then I showed her a video.
Yes.
That one music producer I know, has worked on.
Yes.
It looked so real.
Yes.
Right. The beat was AI produced. The writing was AI produced.
Right.
The music video was AI produced.
Right.
Right. But then how do we tell the difference between you that have built a personal brand
and somebody who's
just doing it using AI systems?
So I don't know if you've realized, but there's a whole industry that is coming up, like the antivirus industry back in the day, and it is anti-AI or AI detection.
Okay.
It's a whole industry now. It's actually another place you can make money. When somebody releases a sex tape of Derek, which firm or business is the one that can take that video and says, based on our proprietary technology, we can tell that this is AI? So that in a court case, think about it. We have video cloning systems that can have our president saying anything we want him to say by morning.
Yep.
Who's the one who diagnosed? Yes, sir.
They did that to Ibrahim Traore.
Yes, sir. Who's going to diagnose that? So what's going to eventually happen is this adjacent industry is going to come up where we would use anti-AI or AI detection models to say, hey guys, I'm looking for a content producer. I don't want AI. It needs to be human. It needs to be emotionally charged. So I want proper human-produced content. If you can't, apply here. It doesn't mean that the AI guys are not going to eat, but what is going to happen is that now humanly charged stuff would be premium. Premium would be, how long did it take you? How much emotion went into this? How much human touch went into this? Today, there is a robotic cook from my presentations 9 years ago who was called Molly. At the time, Molly could cook 2,000 meals. I don't want to know what he can cook now. But guess what will happen? We would have that bourgeois concept restaurant where we have that Robocop there. And then one day you and wifey will say, you know what is enough? Me pay Johnny and Nipa.
Yep.
And then and that will be premium. So the two can coexist. That's why I say as a futurist, don't be so future-minded that you are present insignificant. We extrapolate from the past to learn today so that we can project into tomorrow. That's it.
Let me stop you here for a minute. We are on a journey of changing the minds and the lives of people. So if you haven't subscribed and become part of the family, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you. Now let's carry on with the conversation. That's powerful, man.
Yes, sure.
Now, I want you to step on it a bit.
Yes.
You've spoken a little bit about, blending communication,
Yes.
Public speaking,
Yes.
and building a brand out of that. But I just really want you to step on it in terms of while, you are building a brand that
Yes,
is
sir.
genuine, that is not a fake type of brand.
Yeah.
I definitely do still think that there should still be an element of technology.
Yes, always.
Right.
Yes.
That an element of technology that can help you make your life much easier.
Easier, right.
In the brand that you're building.
Yes. In fact, it took me from when I said, let me build a brand till when I felt like I had been recognized, about 7 years.
Wow.
You don't need to wait that long.
Wow.
When I started building my brand, I only had Facebook. Twitter didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. TikTok didn't exist. Snapchat didn't exist. AI didn't exist. I used to search on yahoo.com with Bing as a search engine, right? So, how do you build a brand today with all the tech that's available to you? Leave the mundane stuff to tech. Do the human-specific stuff.
All right, elaborate. What aspect of that would be the mundane?
You're having this conversation with me. Before you had this conversation where you did the human thing, you sat with me, you checked on me, you checked on my family. We had a conversation briefly that prepped us into this. Do those stuff. Let AI do the research. Let AI compile a list of the next 20 people you could interview based on this and that metric. Let AI be the one that is thinking about how you caption and the hashtags to use that are the most efficient. Don't worry yourself about anything that has to do with data sampling, data analysis. Leave all of those mundane stuff. Come down to the purely human stuff. Things based on ethics, things based on emotion, things based on human-to-human connection. Do that part. Let AI do all of the rest. At the end of the day, you have efficiency in that technology is a tool aiding you to build, and you have authenticity in that at the end product, I have the human touch in there.
My team and I sat down.
Yes.
The guy that leads my AI content is Sylvester, right?
Yes.
So we sat down and said, we want to give ourselves a target.
Right.
By the end of the year,
Right.
we want to move, Derek Abaiti brand to 100K.
Right.
Right. By the end of the year.
Right.
That was the plan.
Yes. You hit that already, haven't you?
Well, yeah. So on Instagram.
Right.
Before that, I think I was on about 20K or
Right.
something. That's
Right.
where we started. And then we started, planning the content, doing everything. And Sylvester went to work. He churned out about 20 content a day.
Yes.
And before we knew it, we're not even at the end of the year.
Right.
And I think we are on about 136,000.
Welcome to the game. Do you know how much time would have taken Sylvester to wait for inspiration that sparks creativity for him to come up with those content ideas? I have given work to graphic designers, and for 2 weeks, they had a creative block and couldn't design anything.
And today you showed me some images.
Yes,
it looked amazing.
It's me. It's me. I took one picture that a camera has taken and gave it to an efficient system to replicate. It's me.
Brakwame,
Yes, sir.
you have set yourself up in the whole public speaking space.
Yes.
Now you train a lot of people to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Does public speaking in Ghana make money?
Because of GRA and private reasons, I would have shown you receipts easily. But you're my brother, so I'll show you receipts when we're done. In fact, maybe I'll show you one receipt. Just my upcoming, most recent public speaking gig. Here is the signed document. I want you to see how much I'm being paid for this. This is before flying and any of those things. Let me show you the document that is signed real quick. The answer to your question is yes.
Right.
It does.
It's purely because you're training a lot of people.
Yes.
In this space.
Absolutely.
Right.
But that's not the only place where I make the money. Here you go. Okay. Here. There you have it.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That's in USD.
Yep.
By the way.
Yep.
So, public speaking is not in a vacuum. People think, and again, let me clarify this as a technician, as a proper technician, and one of the pioneering voices in the space. People confuse our industry a lot.
Okay.
We're not all motivational speakers. Motivational and inspirational speakers are a subset of the entire industry.
Okay.
We have business speakers, people who either by practice or by knowledge speak business and help businesses grow. Because businesses need one thing. They need to update their stuff. So there are public speakers in that domain who come in there and they present to you global best practices, trends, insights on what is happening and how you can catch up. Those are not motivational speakers. We have technology speakers. These are the guys that are helping you keep a pulse on what's happening in tech. That's the type of person I am. I do innovation consultancy. I do futurism. I future-proof societies and businesses and churches and all of that. That's what I do. So we are not all motivational speakers. Not that motivational speaking is bad, but people give it a bad rap. I don't know why though, but that's another conversation for another day. So one of the ways you need to understand public speaking is that it pays based on what you're speaking about.
Right.
For instance, every single parent, if they are not already worried, I give you the next 12 to 24 months, would be worried about how their children are interacting with tech. The person that becomes the leading public speaker on how to protect kids online, because what will happen is that, you know what, not just the speaking. This is why substance matters. When I'm done telling you all of the risk, hey ma, here's our entire toolkit that I can bring to your home, plug into your Netflix, make sure they cannot access any kind of 18 plus content. I can plug this into the game so that I can install this software on their phone when they go to bed. Let's do it so you can have 24 hours access to the things. Oh, let's talk about privacy. No, let's talk about protection first.
Right.
Let's talk about safety first. So if you're in that kind of domain and people become very needful, then your public speaking starts making a lot of money. If you're in an inspirational speaker and a motivational speaker in a market where the people don't need motivation, who go pay? This is why I knew I couldn't be a motivational speaker. When I was coming up, I saw Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins used to charge 2,200 euro on his European tour. And the least he will fill in a room is 9,000 people, arenas and stadium. And I'll see him with 2 drumsticks, hitting it and saying, jump, and say, you are amazing, you are amazing, I'm a champion. I said, hey, Ewa Ghana. There be I'm a man yet. So immediately, Facebook had come, knowledge asymmetry. Everybody was confused. I said, I'm a digital marketing guy. I'll teach you how to market on Facebook and how to build. People were struggling to get friends.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I started. Before digital marketing was a name. Because we only had one platform. We had High Five, we had MySpace, then went to Facebook. People have forgotten that.
In between there was Tag,
there was
Bebo.
Thank you. So we only had Facebook. So we didn't have digital marketing tools. There is no. So that's why I started. Knowledge asymmetry. Nobody knows what to do with this Facebook thing. Let me sit down. So I watch that brofo. Say them English they're speaking. contextualize it to my space, take time by God's grace. I have the grace of breaking things down. It's a grace. So I took that, I brought it in, I'll teach people one day, this is what you can do. When your results, hey, go and tell them, Kwame showed me, this one will recommend me, this one will call me, this one will call me, good. Then boom, the next platform came. So now we have 2 platforms. Okay, no problem. Let me connect. Boom, the next one. So now we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. Oh, now there's something called digital marketing. Me call. I was a guy teaching you Facebook, remember? Now I can teach you all 3.
Okay.
Then now people are starting to catch up. I said, this place will be noisy. I'm gone. Always elevate above the noise places in an industry. Everybody's doing a podcast, elevate. And you have. It shows in the type of content, the roundtable stuff, the way you're pivoting towards the community that you're building above.
Yeah.
Where the noise is in an industry.
Well, there's a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy.
Yes, sir.
Well, it talks about this a lot. I read it very many years ago before I even registered my
if you are a wise person, you know what to do with what he just said. I'm going to read that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a solid.
I know what to do. So that's it. Does it make money? It can make money when you're selling knowledge. It can make money when you're the go-to person. It can make money when you're the one who teaches people how to do it better.
And then you also went into content writing a bit.
Yes.
I was speaking to one of my friends in the past who said, you guys used to work together.
Yes.
Very many years ago.
Yes.
Vincent.
Sir, for me, when it comes, apply yourself to it, try it, get your results, document the results, sell it to the next person.
That's how you maintain your relevance.
Sir, today, if you did a how to start a podcast masterclass and charge $1,000, I will pay. People don't understand. Results speaks. Results commands price. That's why you don't see a Lamborghini ad.
It's the problem you see, you have the habit of seeing my plans before.
It's a little bit of the prophetic.
How have I gotten to module? I think I'm on module what? Module 3 or 4?
I will pay for it.
My goodness.
I saw you build a podcast from scratch to 100,000 subscribers in a country where people complain about data.
An hour episode.
Fully watched.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for the next one. I want to sit with you. I don't care how much it costs. The money I will pay you is far more cheaper than the money I will lose experimenting my way through.
Mentorship. And that's why people come to you.
This is why people pay top dollar to come to me to learn public speaking.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, we know. I even know my friend who is very eloquent. Great. Has he been flown into 15 countries to speak? Is he a subject matter expert on anything? Does his name come up in conversations? Who is demanding for them to come and distill knowledge to them? Those are the things I need to sit you down and teach you. You're a public speaker? How do you get 10 conferences to book you every year at $2,000 per head?
Yeah.
Those are the things you come and learn.
But how are you able to consume information that fast? Apart from the fact that you're going to tell me it's grace. There must be a system. In the
I study like crazy. I study like crazy. Everything you've heard about public speaking, tell me if you've heard about this. One of the greatest skills in public speaking that nobody talks about in public speaking is the skill of listening. It's one of the reasons why I respect you. You listen. Because of an overload of information, our attention capacities have shrunk to nothing. People tune out 7 seconds later. Julian Treasure has one of the most viewed TED Talks of all time. How to speak so people listen. 46 million views as at the time of this recording. He has a counter video, another TED Talk, all 7 minutes long. How to listen to people. It has 4.6 million views. 46 to 4.6. People 10x want to be listened to more than they want to listen.
Yep.
Any effective public speaker, for instance, and I'm saying this to say to you that I learn a lot. I'm giving this example because the generic public speaking class you go, you won't hear this. When was the last time you went to a public speaking class and they told you the most important tool in your toolkit as a public speaker is voice? Do you know about registers? Do you know about timbre?
No.
Do you know cadence? Are you using volume? Do you know your register? There are 4 registers in every single voice. The highest, the whistle register, Mariah Carey has it. I can try it. The falsetto register is the one that sounds like chipmunks. Our head register is the one I'm talking to you with.
Right.
Here is where decisions are made. My chest register. We found out people, do you realize all of a sudden when I started speaking like this, all the moods, everything has changed? People vote for politicians more with deeper voices. It exudes trust and confidence. All of a sudden, what I'm saying now sounds more serious. You can see my body language. My fist are thumping the table. I'm looking at you deeply. Those are the things we teach. I learn every day. I'm an award-winning public speaker, spoken in more than 15 countries across the world, flown there, paid for. I still do 2 hours of practice in front of the mirror. I still do 2 vocabulary pickups a day so that I can have a plethora of words when I need to use them. How do I consume? I sit down and I learn, and I learn, and I learn. I have Google Alerts turned on for every major topic that I'm concerned about. So if it's AI, every single AI information that has popped up anywhere on the internet is living in my email waiting for me. Before I go to bed every night, I scroll through at least 30 articles.
Wow. And for this, I would want a special discount link.
Right.
For my audience.
Yes.
I say this, right? So anytime my kids go to a new class,
right,
I meet their teacher, the new teacher, and I say, hey, miss, whatever.
Right.
While, academic performance is very important.
Yeah.
For me, as a father,
right,
what I'm majorly concerned with is his interpersonal skills.
Yes, sir.
His speaking skills.
Yes.
His presentation skills.
Yes.
Communication.
Yes.
And basically kill the fear.
Isn't it interesting that if a kid completed education and couldn't read or write, we'll freak out? But we've churned out hundreds of thousands of students out of our education system who can speak or listen.
Yeah.
The 4 fundamental pillars of every proper life: read, write, speak, listen. The other 2 we're very focused on. The one that's at the cross of our society. We don't pay attention to it. That's why we can't agree. Sometimes even our parliament, communication breaks and there's feud.
Yeah. So I would want a special link.
Yes.
Discounted link.
Yes.
For my audience. And I'm going to put that in the description. So anyone that is that wants to, get trained in public speaking.
Right.
You're at the right place. I'm going to put it in the description so you can click on it.
Right.
But I don't want us to go through this whole thing about motivation and discipline again.
Right.
But the question I have for you is: Is there anything we could have spoken about that we still haven't? In other words, give me a question to ask you.
Why do people keep consuming information over and over again and yet there's no transformation?
Yes. What's the answer?
There's a lack of application.
Right.
We love the idea of listening. Pause this bloody video. All the notes you've written from the conferences, from all the other podcast guests that have come, go and apply.
Implementation.
Execute.
Yep.
Yasumi ye dedodo.
One of my assistants posted this on. He's one of my content writers, a CMI. He posted on Twitter that it just so happens that when you are with people who work so fast, it ignites something in you as a person. And then I replied and I said, well, you've started feeling that, right?
Right.
I'm one of those people that executes very fast.
Yes, sir.
And by the time I get to the end of that project, I'm looking for the next thing to work on.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it sort of have an effect on everybody else I work with. So usually when they walk into the office, I'm like, okay, call this person, do that person. Have we done this? It never stops.
Absolutely.
So much so that sometimes we can get to a point where I've worked for 8 hours and I haven't even thought about food.
Yes, sir.
Because we're just getting things done. Yeah.
Just do it. The group of people that vex my soul the most is that I can do better people.
Right.
Wait, you can, so what? Who cares that you can do better? Do it. Do it. You see how everybody's a better coach when they're on the sidelines?
Yes. And it's exactly what's going to happen in the comments right now. People are going to, I agree.
I disagree.
It's a beautiful way.
I love it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful way.
I think is a way that people are able to fail unfulfilled. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. You never think about it like that.
Nah.
Oftentimes, hate comes from two major places. Vuzi told me this.
Okay.
You are everything they wish they could dare enough to be.
Yep.
Your existence is an indictment on their inactivity.
Yeah.
That's why they vex. Who is he? How dare he? I couldn't muster the courage and the balls to do it. How dare he do it? Then there are those who just do it for cruise because they are empty. How do you take delight in slandering another? It shows how broken you are. I was doing a study about 3 days ago, had a very phenomenal statement that took me into deep thought. Have you ever said, a part of me wishes to do this, but another part of me wishes to do this? Have you ever said something like that or heard somebody say something like that?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Oftentimes, that is an honest confession of how broken we are. There's the part that wants to do this. There's that part that wants to do this. It is an honest confession of how broken we are. So oftentimes the hate comes from there. If there's anything I would have wanted to end this with, go back. Day one. If it's Aisha, pick Aisha from the podcast. If it's Features Kwame, pick Features Kwame. If it's Kojo Forex, it's any of the people who've come. Wadi Maya, everybody. In fact, forget all of us. You see the simple short videos you've been doing. If you want to build a business, do this. Here's the mindset I went with. Go and execute. That's our problem.
So the reason why you're struggling financially, emotionally, is because you're not taking any action.
No.
Right. You're not doing anything to make your life better.
I love those other guys. We call them the analysis paralysis masters.
Yeah.
What if and if not and could have and should have and would have. 2 years not, baby.
Yeah. Futurist.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Always.
I'm not going to ask you to recommend a book because you have.
We've done that already. Have they read it?
And I'm not going to ask you about motivation and discipline.
No, sir.
Because we've answered that
We've
already.
done that already.
But thank you so much.
Always.
And God bless you for your time.
Always.
And everything, every advice, every guidance that
sir.
you've given me. And to my viewers and to my listeners, thank you so much for being here. This time you have spent with Derek Abaite and Futurist Kwame. If you made it to the end, I definitely want to know that you are one of the champions. Leave it in the comments and check the description for more details about our guest today. I'm out.